to get started, our first panel is about wireless entrepreneurs. The wireless industry is one that we have extreme conviction in at EV3, and was one of the core reasons that we actually started the firm. EV3's DY thesis. Like Matt talked about, connectivity is something we all take for granted. It's come up, Nate. You're invited too. The wireless industry is almost 3% of the global economy. It's almost 3% of global energy consumption. And what Mahesh and I are most attracted to is this industry with $3 trillion of margin every single year. When we look at the competitors like AT&T, and like Mahesh mentioned, we diligently listen to every single earnings call and investor presentation. We see this business that's huge. It's integral to every part of all of our lives. And the moats that keep the incumbents valuable are pouring away. Over the past 30 years, every single telco used to own towers, right? So AT&T used to have their own towers. They sold those off to independent landlords. They used to own their own spectrum. Nobody else used to have rights to be able to transmit radio waves over the air in the United States. That's no longer true. Now any of us in this room and many entrepreneurs on this panel are using Wi-Fi spectrum, CBRS spectrum, other types of airwaves that the government has allowed us to use for communities to build wireless networks. And probably lastly and most importantly besides DY is eSIMs and customer lock-in, something we'll be talking a lot about today. But for all of you guys who use AT&T, Verizon, you're really getting fleeced. Like you're overpaying, you're getting terrible service and coverage, and there's so many more options, and you're actually not locked in anymore. Now you can change your cell phone carrier in 30 seconds from your couch, similar to how 10 years ago you might have seen the same thing with fintechs and opening bank accounts. And all this has created a scenario where the only sort of moat that the big telcos have is radio networks at scale. They're the only ones that have these billions and billions of dollars of hardware deployed all across the US and globally that have the power to create wireless networks. And this is exactly what many entrepreneurs on this panel are solving. They're using the community to build radio networks at scale and kind of like tipping over the final domino that gives the traditional telco strength and gives them ownership over these $2 trillion of global cash flows. So with that, I will ask each of our panelists if you guys can give us a minute or two to describe what your company does and where you are at in the journey.